Why does 13-year-old Blue Ivy look like she's 25? No one realizes that she has never been allowed to have a real childhood like Rumi. When Blue Ivy recently performed on stage with her mother, Beyoncé, during the Cowboy Carter tour, she frequently changed her looks. At only 13 years old, she wore 5 sets of high-end, custom-made outfits in one night of the premiere: tasseled leather pants, a corset, and sequined gloves. Welcome back to Star Hush, the only place where whispers turn into straight-up explosions. And today's tea is steaming hot. The word on the street is that Beyoncé's former surgeon just dropped a bombshell, and it's got the internet spinning. He's saying that Queen Bey has allegedly been pushing Blue Ivy to get cosmetic procedures to enhance her appearance. Can you believe that? It's like a scene straight out of a Hollywood scandal. Now listen. The internet has had Blue Ivy's name in its mouth since she was a baby. From day one, folks were dissecting her looks, comparing her to Beyoncé and Jay-Z like she was part of some red carpet competition. People had no chill. Social media was wild with posts, threads, memes, all picking apart her nose, her hair, her everything. Some users were supportive, sure, but way too many were just straight-up haters. There was a moment that had everyone shaking their heads. Blue Ivy was just a toddler, and folks were already coming for her natural hair. People online were calling it uncombed and dragging her like she wasn't just a little girl trying to live. Even Saucy Santana got himself in hot water when a fan tweeted, "I just want to be like Blue Ivy," and he clapped back with "nappy-headed." That was a low blow, and people weren't having it. Fast forward to now, and everyone's been talking about Blue's glow-up, calling her stunning, elegant, and even iconic. But here's where it flips. This surgeon, who used to work with Beyoncé, is saying that her transformation didn't happen naturally. He's claiming it was all part of a behind-the-scenes makeover. And that's not even the wildest part. He says there's a full list of enhancements already lined up for her in the future. People are shocked. Some are defending Bey, saying she's just trying to protect Blue from the cruelty of the internet. Others are calling it way too much, saying Blue should be allowed to grow into herself without all that pressure. Either way, this surgeon airing it all out like that is major drama. And you already know the Beyhive isn't playing about their queen or her daughter. They're dragging this surgeon left and right, calling him out for being messy and breaking trust. Things got even messier when that old tweet resurfaced. Saucy Santana had the internet fired up when he tweeted, "I'm sorry, but Northwest clears Blue Ivy, have several seats." When it popped back up a few years later, instead of backing down, he hit back with more heat, tweeting, "Fake woke B-words, people don't care about old tweets." That tweet alone sparked a firestorm, but also opened the door to a deeper conversation. Why is there so much obsession with how Blue Ivy looks? She's always been under a magnifying glass, not just for her looks, but for how closely she matches Beyoncé's image. Since birth, Blue's been caught in this constant cycle of comparisons. At first, it was just Beyoncé. Then, as she got older, folks started throwing Jay-Z into the mix too. Suddenly, her every move, every outfit, every facial expression was being watched, judged, and broken down by strangers online. Viral memes showed her side by side with her parents like it was a game of spot the difference, with people throwing around that same tired question: did she get the right genes? A lot of that talk was drenched in beauty standards that don't even come from her culture. People picked apart her natural features, her hair, her nose, her skin tone, all while ignoring the beauty in her identity. Blind items and gossip blogs have been pushing claims that Beyoncé and her mom, Tina Knowles, are frustrated that Blue doesn't look enough like Beyoncé. According to these blogs, Blue's glam squad puts in extra work before public events, allegedly to soften her look so the media won't come for her. That includes makeup tricks, styling shifts, and even angle training so she photographs a certain way. One source even went so far as to claim Beyoncé's team is already planning a future cosmetic procedure, like a nose job, once Blue's older. Whether it's true or not, the fact that people even believe it could be says a lot about how deep the obsession goes. Instead of letting this young girl just live and grow, the world keeps trying to mold her into some perfect fantasy version of Beyoncé. Another blind item painted a picture of a family so caught up in image that their brand seems more important than real life. Insiders say Blue Ivy is already feeling the pressure of not fitting into the high glam mold the family is known for. Allegedly, Queen Mama Beyoncé and Grandma Tina are quietly frustrated that Blue didn't inherit more of Bey's features, saying she looks more like her dad, Jay-Z's twin, and that's got the glam squad working overtime. The rumor mill also says Blue knows what's being said about her online. She's reading the comments, seeing the jokes, watching the comparisons, and instead of brushing it off, she's trying to shift how she looks, using makeup early and pushing her image closer to moms and away from dads. One insider claimed, she's already started building a long-term strategy around her look, and the idea of enhancements has allegedly been floated for the future. Meanwhile, Beyoncé is said to be working behind the scenes to position Blue Ivy as the next big thing, whether Blue's ready or not. After all, what's a billion-dollar brand without a legacy act? But a lot of fans are calling out the situation, saying the pressure on a young girl is not okay. Supporters have been flooding timelines with messages like, "Let her grow up at her own pace. She doesn't owe anyone a perfect image." Blue Ivy's journey through fame isn't unique, but what makes her story stand out is how heavy and non-stop the pressure's been since day one. She's been treated like a brand instead of a person. Every move, every photo, every outfit, every facial expression becomes a headline or meme. The truth is, a lot of this pressure comes from how the world sees Beyoncé: polished, perfected, and untouchable. Now people expect Blue to pick up that same torch. That's a wild amount of pressure for anyone, let alone someone still figuring themselves out. Critics have pointed out how Beyoncé's own image has sometimes leaned into certain beauty ideals: straightened hair, lighter makeup tones, and styles that fit the industry's mainstream image. Some say it's survival in a tough business. Others call it playing into Eurocentric beauty standards. Whatever the case, now that same formula is being projected onto Blue. And while the spotlight isn't going anywhere, people are starting to realize just how much weight this fame puts on someone who didn't choose it. This isn't just about one celebrity kid. It's about an industry that still rewards certain looks while sidelining others. The conversation blew up again during Beyoncé's Renaissance era, when her lighter appearance in that silver-themed phase sparked rumors of skin lightening, which Tina Knowles quickly shut down. But the criticism slid right back to Blue Ivy, as people now see her as an extension of the Beyoncé brand. Every time Blue steps out, the comparisons start again, lining her up next to Beyoncé like it's some kind of beauty contest. And because she resembles her father more, a lot of people act like she doesn't measure up. That attitude is part of why rumors about cosmetic changes stick. According to the former surgeon's claims, Beyoncé and Tina are allegedly doing everything they can to soften features that remind people of Jay-Z. In Hollywood, that's not even surprising. Image is currency, and people start young. Bella Hadid has admitted to getting her nose done at 14, and she's far from the only one. Many celebrity parents allegedly push their kids toward early procedures so that by the time they hit the spotlight, it can be passed off as natural. Now, with whispers about Beyoncé possibly doing the same for Blue, fans are split. Some call it gossip. Others see it as brand strategy. But the question remains, should parents be making these decisions for their kids under the glare of cameras? Or is it just part of the Hollywood game?